We've got BLG versus LNG to kick off Swiss Day 2. As always, feel free to drop a sub if you want to keep up with everything Worlds VoD related on my channel. Likes and comments help me a lot as well. And follow me everywhere at CubbyXX, especially on Twitch, where you can tune into me streaming these VoD reviews live and join the conversation the way the Prizzy's doing in the chat. So that being said, round 3 fight. Yeah, they're never going to see the first two. YouTube. We're on intro number 3. Caster, by the way. Anyway, game 1, BLG, LNG. Really fun matchup between two really good LPL teams. And LNG looking real good, despite all the bullshit going on with Scout. I was a little bit worried about that. All right. Guys, the winner of today is going to be Yone. Yone, going into this day of the tournament, is 10-2. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit as we go throughout this day, because this pick it's really strong. Definitely a couple of things that I picked up on with just who is playing what. It feels like the Eastern teams, there was a scrim bubble going into this Worlds. The Western teams boot camped in Berlin. Eastern teams stuck around. It really feels like there is a scrim bubble, because there are some champs like Rumble only being played by the Eastern teams, and Rumble does feel really good. Maokai still being prioritized by some of the teams in the East, which I like a lot. The Champions Kit's OP. We talked about that a lot. And guess what? Sinner's fallen out of prio. Never saw that coming on that stream either. I've had decent reads with the meta so far, actually. I'm pretty pleasantly surprised about that. Anyway, that said, first pick Orianna. Big pick for Knight. And I think first pick Ori is very acceptable. It said Rumble Nocturne. So denying the Nocturne combo and then having Rumble over the top to pressure an immobile-ish carry in Orianna. Very nice. Vi, Cassante to respond, so top side complete. We still have a way to fight and get the combo off with the Vi. But it ends up being the Yone. So, side pressure, really good already for LNG with Yone and Rumble. Rumble ends up going, Zeka goes for the first strike build, which helps him get a lot of gold in the laning phase. Not as much of a lane bully anymore, but was really effective in the fights later on. Excuse me. The spam was a miss by BLG. Ziggs fell through to the second phase of draft. Ends up being Ashe for Jhin. Whoops. And then Rel and Poppy. I will say I'm still pretty out on Poppy support. I think Poppy is a little bit overrated right now. But ended up winning the game this time around. Scout had a ridiculous game on the Yone. Okay, runes. As I was saying, first strike Rumble. So Rumble lost a lot of damage on his Q. I think rank 1 Q is minus 20 damage. And then ends up being minus 10% AP. And then it's minus 5 base damage on your E. Besides that, Rumble's pretty much the same champ. Q, I mean, the Q change is really big early because that's what you put points into first. But I still think Rumble, I mean, your job is to press R and do a lot of damage in the fights. Rumble is the same in that aspect. And it's interesting seeing a kit like this for Zeka, because I actually think this is pretty smart. You do sign up to lose the lane, but if you lose it gracefully, first strike can accelerate you, and then if Rumble gets items, you're still Rumble. Besides that, everything else is relatively standard. I'm still really biased towards Blue Tree on Jhin, but I don't think we're going to have teams do it. And we're so allergic to Fauna Life, but that's fine. Those are my pet peeves. My fantasy picks aren't doing too hot. That's unlucky. I hope they do hotter as the game goes on, or this all goes on. Okay. So we have a big trade early. End up getting Flash out of Gala, which is quite nice. We do get standard lanes. Alright, so we actually saw Hong flash to catch the Deadly Flourish from Elk. I do think that was necessary to save Gala. Gala still cleansed it, so a little bit of an oops, but yeah. What's up, Cubs? What's up, TG Burt? Yeah, but I mean, BLG is just straight up winning lanes. So, like, bots winning hard, mid's winning hard, and Wei uses it to come in and take a blue. They're going to force scout off. So, this is pretty sick from BLG. They're using their lanes and the pressure they have in their lanes really well. So, Nocturne's a wee bit behind. Still gets the respawn wraps on time, though, which is pretty good. Yeah, losing blue buff is, I mean, doesn't feel great, but it's really not the end of the game for Nocturne. Still like to play from BLG, not bad by any means, but the fact that he cycles out his 2 respawn camps is big. Yeah, actually had a better first base. Okay. All right, D Shield second win going overtime for Scout in this lane. It's still a nice advantage for Knight, and the Lost Chapter is quite good for Knight too. So like Knight laning really, really well. Should be a bit of an edge in the mid lane on this base. In favor of the Ori. And a lot of prio around Dragon. Interesting. Because I mean, Grub's fight isn't bad for LNG. They do need 6 on Nocturne. Hold on. I want to see how Bin... Did Bin 3-wave? Yeah, Bin 3-waves. So Bin, perfect CS, first 3 waves. Got null. That's going to help a lot in this matchup with some of the changes. Okay. So Grub for Drake trade. I guess LNG's behind a little bit in XP, so like they don't have 6 on Nocturne until then. Probably one of the bigger reasons why they don't want to fight. Also, Nocturne still gets to farm up his map with this. It's fine. I don't think grubs are a requirement for LNG, but if they have 6, they can for sure fight it. I find the fact they just like didn't do it and took the Drake instead a bit interesting, but it's all good. I don't think it's bad by any means. It's just it's the choice they made, right? That's the wildest ignite I've seen at the tournament from Hong, by the way. I Siba. I don't know why we're dropping ignite there, but you know, we really wanted to get that wave in on time, so. Arrow went mid, sidestep by Knight. Looks like he dodged north, so. Okay. Still cruising forward. I mean, nothing's like... LNG, honestly, they kind of recovered in these lanes all right. Because mid deficit stayed about the same. Which, I mean, that makes some sense. The Zika deficit stayed about the same. So at least LNG was able to stabilize. So it just kind of comes down to the fights. All right, next grubs are spawning though, so LNG put their bot lane mid, which I like. It is a forced response from BLG. And Jin wasn't able to base. So they're not up items on the Ashe, but at least they prevented the Jin from basing. They were first put bot mid. That's I like. It's what TL was doing first that was like, kind of standardized. Again, I really feel like TL had edge on swaps, and honestly in this tournament still had some edge too. Okay. Good disengage from Hong. Like, at least he was able to get out, but again, kind of hard. As never gonna get the fight. The beams come on in. The Rumble, it's not super killing. I think that where the Rumble is pretty killing. The big part about this is that you're gonna see the Orianna. So Hong gets Ori out, and that's not really shown like in here, but it is shown in the replay, and that's for me one of the bigger differences of this fight and why LNG are able to kind of win it. Scout failed his Q3 over the wall, bit of a bummer. He had ult. I think he was wanting to do this and then ult. Regardless, though, I mean, Scout's untouched in this fight. But he gets stuck. Ends up getting outplayed. I think LNG actually won this hard. But he gets rooted. Dude, the W flash is so nasty, actually. I think that was missed. Okay, the W flash is too nasty, actually. Wow. And then the R from Knight keeps Scout stuck. And Elk lives. And they turn the rest of it. Wow, I missed the W flash. That was so nasty. The W flash from Elk was so nasty. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't love the Rumble ult. I think that what Hong does is really good. Hey, what's up, Crazy Monkey? Just by keeping the Ori out of the pit, you do get numbers. Like, Bin's doing his damnedest here, but the Rumble is cleaning up. Rumble was very, very useful here. I thought Rumble ended up being huge in this game. Okay, so LNG gets second Drake off that, but it is 6 grubs for BLG. It's really big. I will say they can't use grubs as well as LNG's comp can, but I like the overload. Wall plates are still up. They just get a lot of gold. And Rumble doesn't have ult yet. So this is a little bit bold. Nocturne's not in range quite yet. They had an arrow coming. They are able to trade out, but I thought this was a little bit bold. All right, so they do get first brick. I like the overload again with 6 grubs. They're dropping a lane for this, but the lane they're dropping, Knight got the wave in at least. That's just good grubs tech. I was really salty during Americas that our tier 2 teams were not like overloading or using grubs well enough, and it's really good to see these teams. I see some of the best teams in the world, but they're doing it right. All right, so then top pressure turns into Rift. I mean, the way that BLG took all that, like, it looked free, you know? It's really good use of 6 grubs. They made it look free. And they did starve out the Rumble a little bit, which does matter. Rumble with items is a problem. All right, this fight. I don't really get this fight. I mean, the Ash Arrow does go wide, which is a bummer. I don't really know why LNG takes this. Like, it is a clean kill onto Vi, right? I mean, they do have bot wave in, and they get a TP. I honestly, like, it's kind of fine for LNG if Gala lives, but obviously Gala does not live. The 3 wards drop to prevent the blast cone. Kind of crazy. And they do get a lot for this, right? At least LNG does. So I'm curious if they get anything else in the timer. They at least killed away bot, and the top wave's coming to them. So, like, wave-wise, this is not the worst fight in the world from LNG. I'll be honest. I look at waves, right? Bot wave is in. That's being lost because of this fight. And top wave's going to them. That's not bad. I know they dropped the fight, but I think that's why they ended up taking it, because their conditions were just better. That is actually one thing that kind of surprised me about this game, is how LNG were able to find better conditions than BLG. I think it's just because they get to play 3 lanes, but they actually did a much better job of playing 3 lanes. We were a little bit salty at how some of the teams were playing 3 lanes day 1. LNG does a nice job of playing out 3 lanes here. Again, top's coming to them. That top wave will come to them on their side of the map sooner than later. And this is the big fight. I mean, the big thing here is the Vi gets kicked out. And then this Rumble ult is just huge. And the Scout, I mean, the Scout combo is massive, but the Rumble ult is what sets this up. This is the first Rumble ult that's like been just game breaking, you know? It's such a good Rumble ult. And Hong has a really good fight here too. I mean, Bin is kind of trolling by ripping the Poppy back. If we're gonna hindsight Harry this. If he rips Scout away, by the way, and brings Scout over the wall, then the Yone can't do this. Which was doable for Bin here. Again, if he doesn't R the Poppy, then they don't get banged after this. And the Yone can't follow up. I think that you should get Yone out of the fight. Because, yeah, I mean, he griefs Knight through, from this. Knight does not flash react. So Knight has to flash out of this. Which I can't really blame Knight for, honestly. Like, he would have to flash the wall on the Poppy. That was tough. And then the R target from Wei is bad. I think the kicking out the Vi is big, but I also think that Bin knocking the Poppy back in is just bad. It's kind of autopilots. And again, the Rumble ult's what kept everyone by the wall, stuck on the wall, and the flash from Zeka, or Zeka to follow it up is way too good. So, well played LNG across the board. Obviously, Scout had the highlight play. I don't think that Zeka gets enough credit, though, with how he played that. This is really good. And the Rumble damage is huge. It's also a Rift Maker on Rumble this game, which I kind of like. Honestly, it is a little bit of a lower damage composition coming out of BLG. And again, with First Strike, like, yes, he is down a little bit of CS, but that R hits harder, and he's caught up. So, really, really big. And then this, I mean, the next Rumble ult is just way too big. He just like, this Rumble ult is just picture perfect. This is also what I really like they see Knight top, and if you don't TP as Nocturne presses R, then you don't get in. So you can see Bin's in. Knight would not be able to TP until after Paranoia is up. So the fight's already over. And this Knight TP is just bad. And he tries to one-shot Gala with the R flash. Probably the only play he had, but then Scout finds him. Really, really bad TP. Scout again, just being massive. Bin does flash to finish off the Rumble, so well played, Bin. Like, still got to flash out. Really, really well played by Scout, too. This Rumble ult is still just, it's too perfect. And then the overheat, just perfect timing. So well played by Zeka, or Zika. So well played by the Rumble. Also, again, like we knocked out a good target. Like Bin instantly just taken out. And then Knight CP's late. Really well played from LNG. The fast fight from them was interesting to see, but obviously they had the setup that they wanted. Like they just have more numbers here. Because the Rumble TPs proactively. What's your take on Rumble? Okay, Rumble's the same champ, guys. Rumble is the same champ. He lost 10% AP ratio on his Q and 5 base damage on his Z. Level 9, that's it. That's the only change that was made to Rumble. Yes, your early game is worse, but if you get out of it, and, you know, the way that we did it here with First Strike, gracefully lose to Bin's Cassante, be way more effective in team fights. I think it's very clear that you can see the scrim bubble existing. Rumble is good into and with the meta AD carries. Yeah. Absolutely. But like the Maokai Rumble, it's really only being played by the Eastern teams. I feel like the Western Scrim Bubble just kind of forgot about these champs. And it's going to be a problem. Because Maokai, nothing changed about Maokai. That champion's so broken. His kit is just not okay. I've been on the Maokai high horse forever. LCK has been on the Maokai high horse forever. And guess what's running the tournament so far? Maokai. And Yone is truly the pick that's running the tournament. But that's another story. I cannot believe that Yone is not benched yet. Dude, the amount of bots that... I cannot believe how many bots come in. This arrow was really nice from Gawa. And the TP gets canceled, which is really big. This TP lands, it is a Baron. Like, they at least used Baron to get the fight, because they really didn't use... Like, you still have Rumble Yone left. Expected Yone to be the guy at Worlds? Yeah. And this pick's just not okay. I had him as my highest win rate, because I have Acel as my highest win rate. I haven't seen enough Acel. I think the meta's too fast for Acel. Like, BLG comp at this point, they're down gold. And they, like, just given their comp, they can really only play 2 lanes. They can't play 3. If you play 3 lanes against Nocturne, it's doomed. That's what I really liked about LNG's draft. Like, you deny the Ori Nocturne combo, but then you also just guarantee side lane advantage. Side lane advantage guarantee when you pick something like Nocturne. As the Poppy actually lived here. I was pretty surprised about that. I mean, yeah, it goes down to Bin, but still, Bin's way split from the fight. And the fight's already over. So, again, the fight... I mean, this fight's taken on the terms of BLG. They just aren't able to blow up the Poppy. The Jhin can't DPS. And then Scout goes off in the back one. And the Rumble is just 1v1 in Cassante. Even in all-out, it's fine. And, yeah. I mean, BLG, they just needed to win harder and be able to snowball. They really weren't able to find any, like, big shockwave combos. I mean, if Scout gets Yone, I would expect Scout to play this good. You know who has been playing this good that I was not expecting to play this good, that has been showing the fuck up, is Showmaker, man. Showmaker in his first 2 games has been fucking beast. He has been beasting people. I knew the patch was good for him, But oh my god, Showmaker's been such a baller. I mean, they're still doing really troll shit, but yeah, this team, the team's hype. They are not, but Showmaker has been that good. He has been fucking Himothy. Yeah. I mean, the Rumble, like, Rumble, again, seems like such a good champ. Good try by Knight on the Shockwave. I mean, this fight wasn't, like, egregiously terrible for BLG. The fact that Knight goes down in the back half is tough. And, I mean, LNG, they got ahead. They forced fights, and it's such a big advantage for them now. Like, look at the experience diff. Scouts up 3 levels on the Orianna. All right, we have a theory. I do like the Poppy and Ash chain. If you get Poppy auto lane, Poppy like becomes very useful. This pick and lane is such butt at support. I think burning everything for the Nocturne too is just kind of whatever. Nice buffer from Scout here. I think Don Jake's cursing the players in his interviews. Really nice buffer from Scout. You can see the Q3 through the R just buys a little bit more space. Shockwave wasn't pulled. And then it's just another fucking massive combo. I mean, the Rumble ult wasn't even that great here, but just didn't matter. This double stride breaker. GG. Wow. All right, big game. Really, really nice win from LNG. I like how LNG, I think that they were using their sides and setting things up a little bit better. And then the fights, they just took all the fights on their terms. Really forced hard with Nocturne. Nocturne guarantees they can play out 3 lanes with Rumble Yone. BLG cannot. BLG gets behind early. They couldn't deal with the overload. They lost. Anyway. Guys, thanks so much for tuning into this VoD review. As always, feel free to sub for more. Drop a like or a comment if you guys enjoyed it. Follow me everywhere at CubbyXX, especially on Twitch where I stream these live. See you guys for the next one. Peace.